what? I'm going to show you how to make a high quality character rig in Anime Studio. This is how I make my rigs. You can make them other ways, but I have found that this works best for me. Let's get started. First of all, you go to File, and you go to Import. Now, what I do is I trace photographs to get the best results. Now you see this right here, it says tracing image. I don't use that, and here's the reason. Let's use it and show you why. When you use the option of tracing image and you bring an image in, the good thing is it's faded, and no matter what layer you put on top of that, it'll still be visible. The bad thing is it's frozen in place. You can't move it. The only thing you can move is the camera. Now, when you try to move the camera to get different angles, that can mess you up in the future because your camera will mess up. You won't be sure where you're at in location. It's just you can't change the size of it or anything of it. So it actually doesn't work as good in my opinion. So that's why I don't use that. So let me show you how I do this. New project. Boom. Now, open or import, either or. Open. Now we're going to start with the face. I got a picture of a face here. Now, we got that right there. New vector. Face. Now I'm going to zoom in. Praise be to Jesus. I'm going to show you how to not only draw a nice, awesome looking character, but I'm going to show you how to rig it awesomely. I press space bar because I don't have auto weld on, I don't have auto fill on, and I don't have sharp corners on. So that means I got to connect them manually. I do that just because it makes it easier. Alright, now if you were using anything below, I think it's Anime Studio 9, you'd have to pick the skin color yourself. One of the greatest things about, I have Anime Studio 10, but I think it started with 9 or 9.5. where you can actually pick the color from a photograph. But and I'm going to do that, but let me show you how I used to do it in case you have a lower version. I'm going to show you. Okay, first of all, what you do is you go to swatches over here. Okay, now I go to skin, and you get all these skin colors here, and I'd probably pick something like this. A lot of times I pick in this area right here, and I pick something like that. Boom, that's perfect, right? Let's see. Also, you go to face, right? Boom, right here. See that pink? I use that for the lips, or used to. Now I'm going to show you how I do it now, a better way. If you have Anime Studio 10, of course. What you do is you go to eyedropper. You hold down Control, and you pick a part right here somewhere in the face. Now I'm going to pick, let's pick right here. Boom. Right? Okay, you go to here. You hold down Control and you hit V. Boom. That looks a little too grayed out, don't it? So let's pick a different color. Something more bright. That's good. Hold down Control, hit V. That doesn't look too much different, does it? But guess what? We're going to go with that. Okay? So, edit, select all. Go to create shape. Boom. You got your face. Now, you hit this little I button here. Boom, to take it off. Okay? Hit new vector. And we're going to do the eyes next. The eyes are, I assure you, the most important thing when making a character. If you want it to be awesome, if you want it to be realistic, whatever, it's the most important thing. That's my opinion. I believe it's the truth. Alright. Put a lot of attention to the eyes. Trust me. It is important. So, we're going to start with the eyeball. Boom. Okay. Now, there's the other one. Praise be to Jesus. Alright, Jesus is God. Like I said, put a lot of attention into the eyes because they're important. You want to work on it good. Okay, now edit, select all. Oh, I forgot to exit out of that. Okay, now we gotta go over here and change it to white. Now create shape. Boom. Let me take that off. Okay, new vector. I'm going to call this pupils. Actually, no. Pupils are the black part. Pupils are the black part. We're going to call this iris. Now, let's get the color. Hold down Control. And then you, oh yeah, you got left click it. Boom. Hold down Control, hit V. Okay. Now, we're going to get the iris. Let's tidy it up. Oh yeah, there is one more thing I forgot to mention. Go to Edit, Preferences. I want you to see this, Disable GPU. That's a very important thing I just want to point out, because if it's not checked, boom, your image will look messed up. It'll look all blurry. Right now it looks just totally crappy, but I mean, most of the time it'll just like blurry when you're trying to trace it. It will not look good. I just wanted to point that out because I had to figure that out on my own. They don't have that option in I was using version 7. They didn't have that option. And when I tried to import it, it was all blurry. So keep that checked. Disable GPU. That way you have a clear picture when you're trying to trace it. Very important. All right. Now let's get the iris. I mean the pupil. It is important to have a clear picture. I'm going to show you how to do a full body. But I have a separate picture for the body and a separate picture for the face because I wanted one that had a close-up. That way we can get detail for that face. because, like I said, it's important to have a clear picture to trace from. Create shape. Okay. Zoom in. Let's make sure we don't have anything selected because we don't want to change the color we've already gotten on that. Okay. Paint bucket black. Boom. Now, here's what we're going to do. Okay. Let's go to face. Let's get that on there, and I want to look, we'll see in the preview if it's coming along right. File. Preview. See, that does not look bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. Okay? Now, let's just further look. The eyes, like I said, are the most important thing, but now, since we know it looks alright, let's see what this looks like. Not bad, not bad. Okay, we're taking this all off, right? That's just the view of it. Okay, so you can see it. Alright, now, let's do the lips. Let's eyedropper, right? Hold down Control, left click on your mouse. Control V. It looks a little different. Let's get it again. Let's just see what we got. Oh, okay, that's a better one. Control V. Okay. Let's do this. Now I want to hit sharp corners first, because right here I want that to be nice and sharp. Yes. Okay, now let's tighten this up here a little bit. Like we need extra point here. Okay, I want to make it awesome, so look, boom, make it a little bit better. Okay, now edit, select all, create shape. Wait, make sure, see, look at this, see both, stroke or fill, right. There's a problem here, and I can see it, because you would see this would be all checkered in. But since it's not, that means there's a problem, and I know that from past experience. So something's got to be fixed, and I think I know what it is. It looked like this right here isn't connected. I mean, it was connected, but probably not welded right. Edit, select all. Sometimes you gotta play around with it. And see, I still don't see any checkering in there. So, just to show you that I'm probably right, let's hit the create shape. Look at that. I only got, even though it was clicked on both, it only did the stroke. Now, I'm gonna edit, undo. This happens sometimes. Edit, select none. I'm not a genius, okay, so I don't know exactly. Maybe there's a better way to fix that. With Anime Studio 10, it's a little bit different. In the past, it might not have been that hard. But with Anime Studio 10, like I said, there might be a better way to get around it. This is the way I've found so far to do it. Go to the paint bucket, right? Boom, boom, okay. And it works just as well, basically. Like I said, there might be a better way to do it, but I don't know if there is. Okay, preview. That don't look bad. It's not perfect, but it does not look bad. Now let's just see what we all got here. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, look at that. Lips got to be above the face. Let's see how it's coming along. Not bad, not perfect, but not bad. Okay. Now I want to show you a little trick here. Because if you're like me, you want to keep checking the progress of your work. You're going to want to keep doing that preview. You're going to have to keep turning on and off these eyeballs. A quick way I learned to do this, hold down the Alt button and click on your background image that you're tracing from. That turns off the view of all of them except for that. That's a quick way to toggle between on and off. Look, boom. See? Very quick way, saves time, and now we're moving on. Okay, let's do the nose. Here we go. Nose time. Now, in the past, you see where you have the main lines, right? Hold on. In the past, it would be sufficient just to draw the main lines, because that's what you see. That's what's in front of you, right? Well, I don't do that anymore because, and I'm not going to show it in this tutorial, but I actually draw the nose and connect it and fill it, because if you're going to do a 3D head turn, which, like I said, I'm not going to do right now in this tutorial. That's like the only thing I'm going to leave out for the character rigging, 3D head turns. But if you're going to do a 3D head turn, you're going to need a nose to have a fill in there, not just a stroke. So you might as well draw the whole nose, not just what is sufficient, which would be like this right here. Like I said, now, see, I want to draw a nostril, but it's a little blurry. Sometimes it's actually easier to see what you're trying to draw if you zoom out. See, look, it's a little bit clearer. That's a trick for doing the eyes sometimes. Like if you're having trouble figuring out what it is you're looking at, sometimes you gotta zoom out. It actually makes it clearer. Okay, let me just make sure we got that. Okay, like I said, in the past, this right here would be sufficient. I would create shape, fill in these parts with black. But because, like I said, I want to get in the habit of being able to have the character set up for 3D head turns if I want it. Whether I use the 3D head turn or not, I want the character to be set up right for it, so it's ready if I need it. So that means you have to close the nose up. Actually, let's see. Matter of fact, I'm going to take the sharp corners off. Okay, now, let's see here. We need to bring the face on. And we're going to eyedrop that. Edit, select all, create shape. Oh, it did it again, didn't it? Like I said, Anime Studio time. It does that, I don't know why. Oops, I did it twice. Extra dots, not good. Okay, there's a lot of dots. Now, edit, select none. Okay, alright, and here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. The other thing I do not like about Anime Studio 10, don't know how to get around it. This right here. Right, where'd this come from? All these extra dots in this right here, I don't know where that came from. It makes it annoying. But, like I said, I don't know how to get around that. Sometimes what I do is I'll get rid of those strokes, but, I mean, you can only do so much sometimes. Anyway, back to what I was going to do. Okay, now, this is the hide edge tool. The parts of the nose we weren't going to draw, we're going to hide the edge of. So basically, it's as if we didn't draw it, because this is all going to blend in with the face up here. The only reason that we have it is for, like I said, a 3D head turn if it's set up for a 3D head. It's set up for a 3D head turn if you wanted it. Okay. Now we just gotta fill these nostrils in, don't we? Alright. We're gonna go select. Now, let's see here. Let's go to black and let's bring the transparency like right here. And let's hit create shape. Of course it didn't work. Okay. Alright. Now we're gonna bring this face on here. We got an extra line. Like I said, Animate Studio 10 is different with that. All these extra lines. It adds on there. Which you don't like. Yep. So let's see. Oh, here's what we'll do. We'll just hit this fill. Boom. Alright. Now let's just see what it looks like. Preview. It's not bad, right? Ah. Okay. Now, hold down Alt, hit on this. Okay. So, let me just see here. Nose. That's all right. Okay. Let's save, because guess what? Boom. It crashes sometimes. Amaniah. That means faith in God, by the way. Zimmerman. And that is my name. You gotta save it, because it crashes sometimes. And even with the one thing... Oh, say it just crashed. But, like I was just about to say, the one thing about Anime Studio 10 that I love, it did not have in the previous versions, is it will auto-save it if it crashes. And that is such an awesome thing, because in the past it would crash. And you wouldn't have that feature. It crashes pretty often. That's just the way it is. So that's why you gotta save often. But, this new feature is awesome. It crashed before I could save it. It seems like it crashes when you're trying to save it the most. At any other time, I mean. It crashes at that time the most. See, this is a recovered file. So now we're going to save. Because we still don't have a save file, see. Like, if you exited out, you wouldn't have it. So, it recovered it, but it didn't save it. Amaniah Zimmerman. Alright, that's me. Boom. Save. That time it worked. Okay. Now. We're coming along, are we not? What needs to be done next? Let's do the eyebrows. Now, let's get a good color. That looks good. Control V. And I'll tell you what, I love making cartoons. And I know it has nothing to do with this tutorial in specificness, but I say that to myself all the time when I'm making cartoons, so I'll say it to you now. Look at this. This is a curvature tool, okay? Very important. This right here, you just boom. You boom it right there. Okay. Now, right here. Boom. Boom. Alright. Select all. Look. Create shape. Let's see. This is the way it should look. Obviously this one wants to be a pain in the butt. Oh, I see why. It's not connected. Look at that. Create shape. Boom. I like it. Right? That don't look bad. Okay. Alright. Hold down Alt and click on that. And now we are moving on. Let's see, what do we got next? I suppose we need a beard. So let's add it. Praise be to Jesus. Yes, I am a Christian. All my videos I praise Jesus with. No matter what they're about. This video is no exception. When you hit the space bar, it welds it. Alright. We're going to sharpen them corners right there. Okay. And I guess that all looks good. Let's bring that nose to the front. So the beard's under the nose. Now, let's see, is there anything else? Okay, it looks good, it looks good. Oh yeah, the lips got to be on top of the beard as well. Let's see, you gotta... Oh, let me point this out, whether you know this or not, in case you don't. The order of these layers is very important, especially when it comes to animating the character. It's very important. You might think, oh, it doesn't really matter. Trust me, it does. And you will find out the hard way if you don't pay attention to the layer ordering. It's very important. It's not something to get lazy on. So, anyway, let's reset this color here, and then we're going to choose, actually, you know what? No, I changed my mind. Let's not reset the color. Let's use the same color as the eyebrows, because that's usually how it works in life. Right? Your eyebrows are the same color as your beard, right? Okay, so let's do that. Most of the time, that's the way it is. So we will use that. Create shape. Now, let's turn the face on. And let's do a couple things. First of all, let's bring the beard out a little bit so we don't have any patches missing. Now, secondly, let's take this beard, okay, we're going to go into that, we're going to left click it twice to go into it, and we're going to bring the opacity down. Let's bring it to like 60, and let's see what that looks like. Okay, so it's taking forever to render. Okay, good, here we go. Not bad, not bad. Especially considering that the beard is only like, actually probably darker than the photo, but I like it, so let's keep it. You don't have to have it look exactly like the photo. Sometimes fudging the photo to make it look better than it is, especially, in my opinion, especially when you're drawing females, it's better. I mean, like, you know, to gloss over imperfections and stuff like that. It's just, I mean, who wants, I don't know. Like, if you're drawing a female, I said, like, especially, who wants to see an ugly female most of the time? You know what I mean? Would you prefer to see an ugly female or a beautiful female? I think most of us would prefer to see a beautiful female. Let's save it. And let's see what that looks like rendered. Wow, that's pretty good. I like that. That's very interesting. I like it a lot. So we're coming along wonderfully, and I give God the glory for that. And the praise. Alright. Now let's focus. Let's focus. Okay. Next thing I want to do is, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do the face details next. That's what I'm going to do. Now, interesting thing. Since we are on the subject of glossing over imperfections, especially with females, that really comes into play, in my opinion, most of all for the face details. The face details, one of the things that is tricky is like not having the lines too thick. Otherwise, they'll look old. Let's just start on this and then see what happens. Like, well, this is, I mean, this is a pretty thick line on the photo right here. But, you know what? Sometimes you just gotta make them barely visible, the face details. Otherwise, like I said, they'll look too old. Or they'll just look ugly. Maybe you want them to look ugly. Maybe that's the point. Nothing wrong with that. But if you don't want them to look ugly, well, you better pay attention. Now, let's see. This is not a clear-cut way to do it. With face details, I think it's always up to the individual character, I think, and what you want. It's not like a cookie-cutter way to do it. Not with the face details. That's like always individual. Let's see, what do I want? You know what? I want to add. Let's try some of this here. Some of that jawline. Whatever you call that. And let's see. What else do I want? Oh, yes. I definitely want to do this part here. And you know what? I'm also going to, oh no, let's keep that just the way it is. That's fine. Oh, I know it's the face details, but here I'm also going to now let's leave that. Alright, edit, select all, and create. Wait a minute. We want black. Create shape. Okay, now this is the tricky part. The lines are most likely too thick, like I said. Sorry, it's taking so long to render. That doesn't look bad, actually. I think the only lines that I'm going to make thinner are These ones. Let's zoom in so we can actually see the lines. We go to line width tool here, boom. We're gonna bring them down. Let's see what that looks like. And I know that the actual face in the photo, this is pink in the corner of the eye, but it actually looks so cool when I saw it. I'm just gonna keep it the way it is. So. What do we got? You think we should keep that or not? Yes? Okay, good. We will then. Since you agree with me. And let's save it. Alright. Now. What else do we have? Oh, goody. We have the ears. Okay, here's what we're going to do. New vector. Now let me see. The ears. You gotta do the ears separately. The reason being, because you want it, well, this is the reason I do them separately. I mean, you can do what you want. But I'm going to do them separately, the right ear and the left ear, now both on the same layer, because I want to have the character set up for 3D head turns if I choose to use it. Otherwise, like, you know, if it's not set up for a 3D head turn and I want to add it, that'll make it more work. Just set it up now and boom, it's ready if I choose to do it. So, there's that. Now let's see. You know what? Let's use a freehand for the ear details. Boom. Edit. Select all. Now we need the face on. We're gonna eyedropper it. Go to create shape. Ooh, I like that. Now hold on. Let's see here. That right ear, actually, we're gonna put behind. Where is it? Behind the face. Okay. Create shape. Now, let's clean that up. Zoop. Just want to see if this is still recording. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm not doing all this work for nothing, because I want to make sure, you know, that it's being recorded. Alright, now. Doesn't that look good? Wow. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Okay. I like what I see. Boom. Boom. New vector. Boom. This will be the left ear. Let me just point out that you probably already know it. When you put left ear, left arm, left leg, right leg, always go by the characters left and right. There's a reason for that. I mean, when I first started making the characters, I would go by what my left and right was, and that's not good because the software itself will distinguish left and right from the characters left and right. If you put left leg, and it's the characters, it's the characters right leg, but you put left leg, the software will mess that up because it'll do it automatically. Like if it's the character's right leg and you put left leg, when you go to onto that layer, it'll show up as the opposite. And it'll just mess your character up. It really will. I learned that the hard way. So you might as well just do it this way as I'm doing it now. Let's hope that ear looks as good as the other one. Create shape. Not as good, but acceptable. Okay. Acceptable. Right, we're going to save it. Now I guess this head is just about done. What we got left, I think the only thing that we got left for the head itself is the hair, which is basically not even there. Alright. We're going to put the hair for this character. Let's see. Well, we're going to have to put it above the face. Now, let's just bring those eyebrows on real quick and do that. Alright. Hair time. See, I take that auto weld off because when you're trying to get that close in with another line, it will automatically connect the lines. That's not cool. I know this part looks a little bald here, but remember what I told you about glossing over imperfections? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. But before we gloss over that imperfection, we are going to tighten that up, okay? And move this in. And probably that's all. Let's zoom in to see what our lines look like. We need another dot, another point right there. Okay. Alright. Ooh. That looks pretty good. Let's see what it looks like created. Select all, create shape. Boom. Looks like okay. I'll preview. Huh. You know what? Sometimes you do gloss over imperfections, yes. But in this case, for some reason, it doesn't look right. To me, it doesn't. So I'm going to ungloss over it. Oh yes, and also we have to fix that. Let's see here. Almost, except something doesn't look quite right. Is that what it is? That looks right? That looks pretty good. That looks good. It's not perfect, but it's good. And we'll save it. Boosh. Alright. Now. Alright. Now a couple things we're going to do, and then we're going to move on to the next phase. First of all, because I'm not satisfied with this beard, let's bring the opacity down to 60. Apply, and okay. And then let's bring the face details behind the beard. Boom. Now we're going to delete our picture that we're using to trace. Okay. Now I'm going to open a bone layer. I'm going to call it Amaniah Zimmerman. I'm going to bring that bone layer here. Oh, and here's a trick. When you want to select more than one layer at a time, you click on the one layer at the top of your list, and you go down to the last one, you hold down the shift button, and you click that one as well, and it will select all of the layers in between. Okay? So they're all selected. That's an awesome trick. Move them into the bone layer. Okay? Now, the next thing we're going to do is create a group layer. Okay, and that group layer is going to be called head. Boom. Okay, let's put the head behind the nose. Now what we're going to do now is we're going to set this head up so that it's set up for a 3D head turn, so that if you choose to if you choose to add a 3D head turn, you won't have to change a whole bunch of stuff that you did, basically costing yourself work that you don't want to do. If you set it up this way now, you won't have to change anything. So again, like we did before, we're going to click on the one at the top, go down to the bottom of the list. We got lips, beard, face details, eyebrows, iris, and eyes. Hold down shift and click that, then move them all into the head layer. Bam, okay? Boosh. Now, let me just focus here. I know you would think the face would be in the head group, but it's not. It's not, because if I was going to do a 3D head turn, you would see why. I'm not doing that in this one, but I'm just going to let you know. Okay, boom, alright. Now, let's import our next image. The full body. Now, the reason I do these separately is because I want to get the details of the face. If you got the full body, the face is further away. You're not going to have as much detail. So here we go. Oh. Let's make sure we put that outside of the bone layer. Now, back to resizing it. Here's what we'll do to get a good idea. We'll put it side by side with the head, so we can look at that and see how close it is. It's getting there, but we got a ways to go. I think that's a little too big, or maybe not. That looks to me about right. So I'm going to go with that. Now, let's just make sure we line it up as we would desire it for it to be. Okay. I will say this, that when you draw your body, you want it in a position that's easy to test the movements, like this. If you have his arms all cross-folded and his legs all bent, every time you try to test it, like if you go back and forth between testing it and doing other stuff, it's going to keep snapping back into place of the original stance, and it's going to be so annoying. It's just easier, I tell you from experience, it's just easier setting it up in an easy way like this, where you can test the movements. And I want to say one more thing. Over here in this head layer, I wanted to say you got the iris, which includes the pupils. You got the eyes. Two of them on separate layers. Why? The reason is this. The whites of the eyes will stay in place, but the iris, if you want him to look in a different direction, it's easy to have the iris and the pupil in the same layer, because boom, there you go. He can look up, down, left, forward, whatever. And of course, you'd have to move the eyeball, the points, to make it look good. Now, I think we should start with the neck. Interesting point I will show you. New vector. Let's put the neck basically behind everything. Here's what we're going to do with the neck. Praise be to Jesus. Okay, now let's get the face on. edit, select all, and create shape. Moving on. New vector. Praise be to Jesus. Praise be to Jesus. Alright, now I'm going to get a black color for that because that's what I'm wearing, and why not? Praise be to Jesus. Alright. Actually, my bad. I'm sorry. Let's delete these lines here. I wasn't thinking. This is what you gotta do for this part. Well, this is the way I do it, watch. And it works good. It works real good. Here's what we're gonna do. Like I said, praise be to Jesus. So, here we go. Shirt. Boom. Let's bring our curvature and sharpen it. And you know what? I'm going to move this, because you can always have it bend, but you know what, that's a default position. Let's just do that instead. Alright, back to the curvature. Sharpen that up. That looks good. Now, edit, select all, create shape. Now we're going to put the neck on. Let's zoom in and see. What is this we have over here? A little bit of offness. Now we fixed it. No more offness. Okay, now we're going to do a new vector. This is going to be called the upper right arm, or actually right upper arm, because I want to keep track of my rights and my lefts more easily. So let's put right first. Now this is interesting. Look at this. What you do well, for me, this works the best. And I've done other ways. Look at that. Okay. Watch how we do this. Okay. Now let's zoom in. Okay. Let's add some points. One here and one here. And see, that's most of the arm there. Most of the upper arm is right there. We don't want to be cheap, so let's get another one in there. Okay. This one we can bring down a little bit. Alright. Let's get our curvature tool out. Okay, actually, I'm sorry, I forgot again. Here's what we want to do for this. Watch what I do. You want it to be curved. You want it to be curved right here like this. And you want it to be curved like this up at the arm on both locations. It makes it move smoothly. You will see what I'm talking about when I do it. You'll see when we get the bones going. Black. We're going to use this, and then we're going to do skin. Okay. Now, that's your right upper arm. Here's what we're going to do to make work easy. Actually, before we do that, let me just, whoops, select none. Let me bring this down, make it a little bit more pointy. Say, okay. Now, we're going to take this right upper arm and we're going to duplicate the layer. And we're going to call it left upper arm. Now, we're going to go into that left upper arm and we're going to hit flip horizontally. Okay. Now, we just got to position it a little bit here. Okay. The main thing is the arm. And the arm would... Okay, now that looks decent. You don't gotta match it up. Especially when you're doing this thing where you're duplicating it and setting it over. You're not drawing it exactly on both sides. The main thing is that you have it set up right. And it is set up right here. It's set up right. Maybe not perfect, but you won't know till you finally get the bones in and you can test it. So, let's move on. New layer. This layer is going to be right lower arm. Now, what you gotta do really is keep all your rights together. Remember, layer ordering is important. Right lower arm, and the way that I'm showing you that I set it up is the way I always set it up because it works the best. Right lower arm on top, right upper arm on bottom, and then I just put the left under the right. It could be either or, but that's how I do it. Okay. Right lower arm. Boom. Here we go. Now, you don't just start drawing from where it hasn't been drawn yet. You gotta do the same thing if you want it to be good, like I do it. You gotta set it up with a circular end, like with the other ones. You'll see why. Oh, you will see. Now, we're going to mold it a little so that it works good when we get them bones in there. And that, let's see, that might work perfectly. Let's look at that. That right there looks good. Okay, let's move on. Okay. All right. Now, let's seal it up. Alright, so let's get our circular thing going again. And it will save work in the future if you do this. Because, you'll see. Alright, now. Let's, boom. Okay. Now, here's what we're gonna do. We're going to go in here and make a patch layer. Patch. Now we want the target to be what's under the layer we're on. we're on the right lower arm, which is above the right upper arm. So our target is going to be the right upper arm. Boom. Now the patch, you're like, where is it, right? They always put it up here. I don't know why. That's the way they do it. We're going to stretch it so we got it where we want it to be. Look at that. Something is off a little bit, though. What is this? Right upper arm. Oh, and look at that. Let's go back to that patch. We thought it was covering it, but it wasn't. We're going back to the right upper arm so we can fix this because we don't want it to look all weird. Let's try that now. That looks better. It's not perfect, but it looks better. So now let's go to the right lower arm. Duplicate that layer and make it a left lower arm. Go into that layer, flip horizontally. Now, let's, oh, you know what? Here's an interesting thought. When you move it, it's going to move on its axis. Where is its axis? I don't know. I don't even see it. But it, oh, here it is. It's all the way up here. So it's going to spin on this thing. That's not what we want. You see this cross? We're going to take this cross and put it in the middle. Boom. Now, whenever you move the layer, it will move on that axis. That will be the new axis, and that's good. Now, let's make sure we get, oh, we gotta spin it a little bit more. Now, we can adjust these points here. Edit, select none. And we should, because it needs a little bit of tidying up. For example, right here, that's unacceptable. But I guess we can leave the rest. But we do need a patch now. Left lower arm, let's move it. Left lower arm so it's above the left upper arm. We're going to get the patch out. Okay, the target is what? Guess. Can you tell me? The target is the left upper arm. Okay, moving on. Let's save what we got so far. Alright, now here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our camera. Now to zoom in and out with the camera, you hold down the Alt button. And then you take your left click on your mouse, left click, and you push it in or out. Here's why I'm doing this, because I want to see the whole body in the preview as I'm working on it. Let's go to view and reset the view. Now, just to show you, boom, 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 boom. Let's see what we got. Oh, and boom. Let's save so far. And look at that. Not bad. Not bad. Let's keep it. Actually, no, I'm not satisfied. Let's go to the left upper arm. As I looked at it, I thought, nope. Alright, left upper arm, left lower arm. You might, if you're gonna make the changes, it's good to make them early. Otherwise, you gotta move everything. The more stuff you got, the more stuff you gotta move. I only had to move just the lower arm in addition. If I would have gone on further and then changed my mind, I would have had to move the hand as well. And especially when you have bones, oh, then you gotta move those too. It's just annoying. So you're gonna make, if you want to make changes, make them early. And that looks better. It's not perfect, but it's better. I like it. Let's save it. Boom. Okay. New vector. This is gonna be the right hand. Boom. Now, the right hand, we're going to put, let's put it on the bottom of the right upper arm. Now we're going to do the smooth circular end. Like that. Praise be to Jesus. Now let me just look at this here. I'm gonna imagine in my mind. Okay. Edit, select all, create shape. Boom. Now we're going to get a patch. We gotta start on the right upper arm because it's above. So patch. And the target's gonna be the right hand. Bring it down. Oh, okay, so what I did was, I see. Gotta patch it. My bad. My bad. We gotta repatch it, but we're going to do it from the right lower arm. You say, well, I thought you knew what you're doing. Well, guess what? Patches are something new. So I don't have as much experience with that as I do with other things. Right hand. I used to just make the edges disappear with the edge tool. Alright. I jumped from Anime Studio 7 to Anime Studio 10. For me, patches are new. Alright. And sometimes they still surprise me with stuff they do. So anyway, that probably looks good. The hand looks a little weird, though. But I think we're going to keep it. Let's reduplicate the right hand and call it left hand. Now let's go into it. Flip it horizontally. And then we'll set the origin in the middle. And we will rotate it. Okay. I do like to preview a lot, because it's the only way to get a good, accurate reading of what you got. And I'm gonna go with that. That's beautiful. Alright, moving on. This is a very interesting part that I will mention. I don't think anybody else does it. It works, okay? Other people who have more experience might even call this stupid, but guess what? It works, and this is what I do. We're going to make a waste layer. It's basically going to go under everything. And I'm going to hold down the control button, tap left on my mouse to get that blue color. Come in here, hold down control and hit V. Edit, select all, and create shape. That's my waist. New vector, okay. Now, this is going to be the right upper leg. Okay, now, the right upper leg I want to move all the way up here. Let's see, hold on. Where's my shirt at? Oh, my shirt's here. We want to move it above the shirt, but below the arms. That way you can have the legs bend up. You'll see. You'll see when I do it. Alright. Let's move that for now. Alright, let's see. We gotta decide where we're gonna get that going. Okay. Like I said, this might not be the best way to do it, but it works. And it worked good. It does work good. Now we're gonna have to mold this a little bit. Let's see here, hold on. Let's take some of these. Delete some of these points. I want it set up good for movement. You'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, let's see here. Let's get rid of that one as well. Alright, that looks decent. Edit, select all, and create shape. Okay, now here's what we're gonna do. Right upper leg is what we're at. We're gonna patch that. We're gonna patch it to the waist. We'll see if that works. Sometimes it's been giving me trouble. I might have to delete them. But like I said, I'm still kind of new. I'm still an amateur with the patches. I'll admit that. Alright, now, right upper leg. Let's duplicate it. Make it a left upper leg. Go in here. Flip it horizontally. We're going to set the origin in the middle. And then we're going to rotate it. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? Let's move it over a little bit though. Oh, yes. You might think, what am I doing? Well, I do have a reason. I'm imagining what it will look like when it actually has the bones and it moves. I'm trying to imagine it in my mind, and that's how I'm setting it up. I'm setting it up in my mind just to see what it would move like. It'll save me work in the future. If I set it up right now, then I'll have less work later. That's what I'm doing. You can call me crazy, but there is a reason to what I'm doing. Alright. Now, let's get a patch for this as well. To the waist. That looks good. Let's save the file. And let's treat ourselves by seeing how it's coming along. And that is just beautiful. Just beautiful. I give God the praise. I give God, Jesus Christ, the praise for this, because He only deserves it. I like to put my right leg in front. Let's see. But in this case, we're going to put the left in front, okay? And we're going to make a new layer. Left lower leg. Now, the left lower leg is going to be above the left upper leg, like we did with the arms. Oh yeah, let's eyedropper it. Now, all you can see is the toes. You can't really see the feet. So, I mean, probably the practical thing to do would be to draw the toes with the lower leg. But I'm not going to do that because I want to show you how, in normal cases where you have the whole foot, I want to show you how I set it up, which works the best out of any way that I've seen or used. So I'm going to follow standard protocol for what I do, and so that you can do the same. Matter of fact, here's what I'm going to do to show you that. To emphasize it further, I'm going to actually draw out a foot so you can actually see what I do. But for now, we got that. And again, I'm setting this up as I'm imagining in my mind how it's going to look with the bones when it moves. So let's edit, select all, create shape. Now that's the left lower leg. We're going to get a patch. Patch it to the left upper leg. Alright. We're going to take our left lower leg and duplicate it. Right lower leg. Go in. Flip horizontally. Set the origin for the middle. Rotate that a little. Maybe not. Yes, let's rotate a little. Okay, but this way, alright. Now, why does that look smaller? Let's bring this out. The width, alright. Still looks kind of small. Alright. But let's go with that, okay. That's the right lower leg. We're going to put the right lower leg above the right upper leg to keep them in order. If you're going to have one leg cross in front of the other, that's important, which is why I'm setting it up this way. Oh, let me point out, very important, the reason that I separate the upper leg and the lower leg is this. I'll tell you. First of all, everybody else that I've seen, even the people that make the software, they do it all in one layer mostly. The whole pants in one layer. The problem with that is if you try to cross the legs, it'll cancel. Whatever overlaps when one leg overlaps the other, it'll cancel it out and it'll disappear. It won't be visible. So like if you wanted to cross the legs, then it would look like crap. So this is the best way to do it, and you got to keep your left leg and your lower leg separate in layer ordering so that it looks realistic. I'm glad I remembered to point that out. Alright, so what we need is a patch, and we're on our right lower leg. Patch. We're going to patch it to the right upper leg. So that's why I separate the arms. Again, even the people that make the software and the people that add characters for it or whatever that come with the software. I don't know why, but they'll put the whole arm as one layer. Actually, they'll even connect it to the shirt, all one layer, and you'll get so much. Not only will you get a lot of distortion, but, like, I mean, if you want to do different things, it just really, like, messes it up. This makes it, the way that I'm setting it up now that I'm showing you, that I found, it makes it look the most realistic that I've seen. So, I'm not the best, but this will work. Let's save it. Okay, now, new vector, moving on. And this is going to be the left foot. And, let's get our eyedropper so we can get the skin. And now, we're gonna do some imagining. We're gonna do some imagining here. And I'm just, like, I'm not the best. But let's see if that works. Oh, what am I doing? I got confused here. Flip horizontally. Sorry if I confused you. Like I just said, I'm not the best. And I do have my moments of messing up. But that looks good, does it not? Okay, it looks good, and we're gonna duplicate it. Make a right foot. Oops. Yes, I don't want it to have, it doesn't matter, but I don't want to have that little mark in there. Alright. Now, we're going to make that here under the right upper leg. We're also going to flip it. Look at that. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Let's save. Now that is the character. Here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. Boom. Now preview it. Oh my. Well, those feet aren't perfect. I should probably, they don't look right. I probably should, and I'm going to make those toes a little bit longer. Let's do that. Now, just before I do the other one, let's preview it and make sure I'm right. See, that looks better to me. Matter of fact, let's make them even longer. Boom. And that's probably the key. Should we go longer? Okay, we will then. Let's go longer. Ow. Let's keep that. As a matter of fact, I like that so much. I want to get rid of my left foot and just duplicate that now because it looks so good. Instead of having to resize it again. That'll save me work. Now we just gotta line it up right. What do you think? Is that a winner? Can we zoom out? Okay. No, it's not a winner. That's why we had to zoom out to see that. Alright, let's move our camera so we can see. That might not be perfect, but it's good. Wait. Sorry, but I have to do that. I have to perfect it. And this is what I do when I'm making things. See, now doesn't that look better? Isn't it worth it? Wasn't it worth the work? Okay. We're gonna save. Now for the fun part. Wait. What is this? We got a right hand patch. Where is it? That's a right hand patch. I'm getting mixed up again. Alright, left upper arm patch is right there. That needs to be moved a little. And did I not make a patch for the other one? I guess I didn't. So, left lower arm, let's make a patch. And we're going to have it attached to the left hand. Oop, what did I do? Left lower arm, left upper arm. Where is my left hand? Oh. Well, that's why. Left lower arm. Patch. Left hand. Like I said in the past, I didn't use patches. What I would do is I'd use the hide edge tool, which does the same thing. It might even be easier. It might be easier to use actually. But I want to use the patches, and I like the way it looks because it conceals everything that's on the layer. even if it moves. I mean, if you hide the edges and the object moves, you will see lines come inside it. With the patch, nothing. Nothing that comes inside the layer appears. I like that. It looks realistic. But they are a little bit more difficult to use, though. They take a little bit more know-how. So we're done with this here. We're done with it. We can delete it. Alright, for the fun part, like I told you. Okay, the fun part begins. Alright, now, I'm going to show you the best way that I know to rig it. I haven't seen a better way yet. Let's do it. That will be your handle bone. All your bones from your body will be anchored to that bone right there. Now that frees it up. In the past, the bone I'm drawing now would be the handle bone. That's how it would be in the past. But this is more realistic. I'm so glad that somebody figured this out. When you make these two bones here, the waist bone and the chest bone, you have to imagine the body bending over. That's where you want the break to be. And as far as this part, very tricky and very super important, the neck bone. Do not leave out the neck bone. If you leave out the neck bone, when your head turns, it's going to look like a dead body, like a zombie. Trust me, okay? So you need a neck bone. Let's go up to like the chin. Okay, perfect. And then you get your head bone. Now, I don't know what you've seen, but this is awesome. I'm glad, like I said, somebody came up with this. Collarbones. You want them to come like that, right there. Collarbones, baby. It makes it look more realistic. In the past, all the rigs I saw didn't have this. And I'm not the one that came up with it. Alright. Now, let's go down here to the waist again. Actually, no. We gotta go to the handle bone. Sorry. Okay. What you do is you click on the bone. Whatever is red is the parent bone. You gotta make sure that the bone you're connecting to it is the handle bone, because otherwise it'll all mess up. Now you want about, let's see, where is my upper leg? Right. Upper leg. Ah, there it is. Okay. So, you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm putting my finger on the screen where those dots are, so I can remember when I draw the bone that it begins here. And of course you want it to end where you imagine the knee to bend. That's where you want it to end. That might not be perfect, but it's acceptable. Let's get the lower leg, and then we're going to get the foot. Back to the handle bone. Select it so it's red. Okay. Now I'm just going to assume that the other bone's in the same, and it should be, that the layer should be in the same position, parallel to this. Parallel to the other one, I mean. That's what I was doing earlier when I was sizing that up. Trying to make it parallel. Now we're going to select this collarbone. And we're going to, right there, And then that one there, and then that one there. Select this collarbone. That one there. Let me see here. Where is that arm? It bends here, doesn't it? Alright, and then that one there. Okay, that was the fun part. Now for the not fun part. One of the least funnest parts. Okay. This part is the not fun part. Aside from the 3D head turn, this is probably the least fun part. Alright, what we gotta do now is we gotta bind these bones to the body. Let me show you what happens here. What, right? Well, the head don't look too bad, but look at all that. We gotta bind it, because that looks like crap, does it not? Go over here, click layer to let it snap back into place. Now, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start at the top and then work all the way down. Okay, this is the best way I've seen to do it so far. Nose, what you're gonna come over here to bone and bind layer. Bind it, bind that nose to the head bone. If you have a group, like this head group, you have no other option but to bind the layer. Well, you probably could use flexibind, but we're not doing flexibind. So anyway, head, bind layer. You can't bind the points is what I'm trying to say. Right, hair. We're going to bind layer. Face, bind layer. Left ear, bind layer. Right ear, bind layer. Moving down. Alright, right upper arm. Let's back out a little bit. Right upper arm, boom. Now, that's the patch, that's the patch. So we're going to bind the layer. Boom. Okay. Right hand patch. Right lower arm, we're going to bind the points. It's always better to bind points when you can, because it's more specific. If you bind the layer, it's good, it works, but binding points is more of a detailed job. You'll see when we get to the chest, the body. That's the biggie. That's the biggie. But anyway, you want to select the lower thing. You just get into the habit of binding points when you can. It's just preferable. It works better. Right upper arm, you're going to get the bone. Oh, and by the way, if anybody who's helped create this software is watching this, awesome job. You did an awesome job in Flexibind. Love it. Now, I'm noticing something that doesn't look right here. Wait a minute here. See, and here's a perfect example. Here is the perfect example of why the bind points is good. Let's see. I don't know if that's going to work. It doesn't look right. Alright, we just have to shave some of that off, that's all. We have to shave it. You'll see, that's when we get into the part that's telling you it's not fun. Alright. We're going to just bind the layer for hand. Right, left upper arm patch. Left hand patch. Left lower arm. left upper arm, left hand, bind layer. Alright, waist patch. Again, a waist patch. Left upper leg patch. Left lower leg. Left upper leg. Right upper leg patch. Right upper leg. Left foot. I want you to notice something. You see how I hit left foot and it goes over here? Boom. If you would have renamed that right foot, it would have jumped to the other side. You gotta make sure you name them right. Alright, I'm gonna skip the shirt for a moment. Let's skip the neck also, because those are the tough ones. Alright, waist. Let's see now, hold on. Waist. What we're gonna do. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. Let's pick this bone here. And let's do this. Let's pick this bone here. And let's do that. Then let's pick this bone here. And let's do that. Let me just test that real quick. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to delete that point. Sometimes you have to play with it. And it will take testing over and over again. Even if you know what you're doing, it might take it. I don't know. You got to test it sometimes. I'm not saying that you're going to make it perfect. I'm so thankful. With the new option they came up with to manipulate points with smart bones. I think everybody's happy about that. Because look, now that is a perfect setup. That's like as perfect as you're going to get it, as far as I know. But look, it's still slightly distorted, right? That's where the manipulate points with smart bones comes in, and it's such a godsend. It really is. But look, you see how I have the knees above the body? That's why I set the layers up the way I did. I separated them. And also, if like he was gonna do this, if he's gonna cross his legs, like he's chilling, if you had the pants all as one layer, you couldn't do that. So like I said, boom. It looks more realistic. Edit undo. Edit select none. Well, anyway, it's not perfect. I just try to get as close as I can to perfect before I have to actually go in and manipulate points with smart bones. So that right there annoys me. Excuse me. But anyway, it is what it is. Alright, for the neck. Moving on. Neck bone. Let's see. Hold on here. Before we use the actual neck bone, we're going to use this bone. And we're going to bind all of these points here. Let's see. Hold on. Yes, all these points here. Bind. Then the neck bone. And it will be all of these points here. And then to make it look more realistic, you want all of these up here. Now, let's see what that looks like. Look at that. See that distortion? Now, like I said, you can have the point manipulation with smart bones, which is a godsend. Thank you, God. But, in the meantime, I'd like to try to make it look as realistic as I can before I get to that point. That side of the neck looks good. This one, not so much. What you can do is you delete points. So, let me tell you something. Sometimes, like, if you draw an arm, and you're like, wow, it looks weird, it's distorting when it's bending. It might be because it doesn't have enough points. You need to add more points. But sometimes you gotta have less points. So, experiment with that. Look, it looks better. Now, let's just delete one more point, and I think it might even be better. First of all, hold on. Let's see, move that like that. See, that's not perfect, but ooh. Okay, what we're going to do is this. We're going to select those. Bind. Now, you got a little distortion on there, but it's better than it was. Let's delete that one. Let's delete that one. Like I said, it's trial and error a lot of times. Edit. Undo, edit. I want to keep that one point and just delete this one. So it might look to you like I don't know what I'm doing because I keep moving around and doing different stuff. But that's actually an important part of this phase. If you want it to look awesome, I guess. Well, to me, this is what I do. I experiment back and forth till I get it perfect. So anything left, all that distortion, that's for point manipulation with smart bones. So we're moving on. Now let's do the shirt. This is saved for last because it is the hardest. Okay. I guess for this you can just do everything, right? The handle bone. Bind points. Then for this one you want to do just those. And for that, you want to have that. Now the collarbones are a little bit of pain, sometimes they're a pain. Let's see if we can get it right off the bat. That is awesome. Look at that. It's not perfect because, like I said, you need the point manipulation with smart bones. But for what we're doing, I mean, it's pretty good so far. Now, let's get rid of that point there. And maybe we'll get rid of this one as well. I think that's, I honestly think that's the best you're going to get, and that's not bad. That's maybe the best you're going to get it for, that one looks pretty good. I wonder if we can get away with deleting this one here. Oh yeah, oh yeah. But this one, something. We're gonna, I guess we'll keep it. Alright, let's see what we got on the collar. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Oh, that arm looks good. I don't even think that needs any work. Look at that. Is that beautiful or what? Even the hand looks good. Alright. That's beautiful. That probably needs some work. What is it? The right side. The right side wants to be an enemy today. Let's see what we got so far. Okay, now what we're going to do next is, and it's coming along wonderfully, the thing that stands out the most, I'm sure you agree, is this. You move this and you got that there. I knew it looked wrong, it looked messed up. Really, you know what, I need to move that bone. Perfect. Let's I was gonna size the points, but you know what? I love the fact you have the offset bone tool, because instead of having to do so much extra work, sometimes you can use that. Fix things. This one's still gonna be in a problem though. So what happens is you gotta actually move this bone, either that or move the layers. Let's see if we can get away with just this. You hold down Alt and then then you move it with your left click on your mouse. Better, but it's still now we'll manipulate the points. Okay, let's go into it. Let's see. We're going to manipulate the right upper arm. First of all, let's delete this. Oh, that didn't work. Now let's see if that works. This is definitely the part that is the least fun. And what that, you just need to manipulate the points till you get it. And remember I told you about setting it up how it has a circular end, like that. This is why. See, now that looks better. It may not be perfect, but let's see what we got. Let's push this in a little bit. Right. Alright. Now, where is that patch layer? Because it looks like it's messing up on there. It's probably because I bound it to the wrong thing. Let's see if that fixes it. Like I said, I'm still an amateur with the patches, but hey, what are you gonna do? I have experience with the other stuff. And I have a little bit of experience with the patches, not as much. But that works. Okay, now, let's get back in here and look at it. Now, what I want to do is I want to see it at its most weirdest looking point. Like right there. Is that acceptable? Right upper arm. Let's pull it in. Now that looks better. Okay. Let's say the weirdest point is right there. Is it acceptable? But this is why I said it's the least fun part, because of this right here. Because of this very thing. Other people might have different ways of dealing with it. This is how I do it. Now, you know what? I think that's, let's see. Is that acceptable? I don't know. Still a little off. So what I'm going to do is let's go to the right lower arm to fix. Since we've done everything we could with the upper arm, it seems. Let's alter this one. Let's see how that looks. Not perfect, but I think it's acceptable. Test it one last time. And I'm pouring myself some soda. Not bad. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. Alright. Moving on, let's save what we got. Now, what was the other thing? It was the leg, right? The leg was a little off. Oh, yeah, that one looks like it's going to be easy to fix. Right lower leg. Edit, select none. Now, we're just going to pick these and just bring them up. Oh. Oh, let's bring them up a little bit further. Wait, let's look. Yeah, just a little bit further. Excuse me. Let's also bring this up. Oh, that might be a little bit too far. Okay, I like that. I think everything's fine. That right there, if you're at this point, you are so good. I mean, you've come far. Because the only thing left to do at this point, I think, is point manipulation with smart bones. So, look at that. That's really good. Oh, there is one more thing we gotta do, actually. If you want it to be more realistic, let's save what we got so far. There is one more thing, and again, I learned this from other people. Most of what I know, I learned from other people. Go to, well, I did change it a little bit. I'll confess. Collarbones. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to put it at 30. Negative 30 and then 30. This is what works for me. Right? Okay, now I want you to see. Look. Right. Ooh, that's a little too much, so maybe we will put it negative 30, 20. So it depends on your character. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Usually I put it negative 3, negative 30. I mean 30. That's better. Let's go back over here and look at this shirt here. Let's delete this point. Delete that one. Look at that. Less distortion, see? Oh. Praise be to Jesus for that knowledge. Look at that. It's not perfect, but it's better than it looked like a minute ago. And, see, now look, I don't even need... I'm still going to put that bone, change the bone constraint for the other one, but you might not need it as much now, see? I think you got to switch it. If it's on the other side, this one here, boom. Right? Yes, I was right, okay. So... now, you see how that shirt's messing up? We're going to fix that with point manipulation through smart bones. But there's one more thing we got to do. Let's save it. Before we get to that, there is one more thing we got to do. You can click on the upper arm bones, and you put it at 150. Actually, 170. 170. 150 is the way it was shown to me, but I like it at 170. I don't know why it works, but it does. It just makes it move more realistically. You can test for yourself and see if that's not so, but look, I mean, can't you kind of see? It moves more realistically. Oh, what's that? That arm patch. Because I tried to fix it. I stopped the camera for a second and tried to fix that. But it wouldn't work. This one works fine. No distortion there. But this one I could not get to work. So I'm going to show you the old-fashioned way, which is so much easier. It's so much easier. Alright, what you do is this. Let's see, we're on the right lower arm. And it's select none. You will go to hide edge. Boom. 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 Now, it's not perfect. You see, you got that little piece there. So it's not perfect, and plus when it comes in, you got some of it spilling over. But what looks better, that or what you just seen with the patch all distorted? Probably the patches need some work. I don't know. Maybe they need to improve it somehow. Either that, or there's a way to use it better. That I don't know. But patches are such a pain in my butt. All right, so we're moving on. This is actually the fun part, I gotta be honest with you. Okay, this next part, what we're gonna do is we're gonna make point manipulation through smart bones. So what we're gonna do, I love to start with the waist, because look at that. That looks kind of weird, right? What you need to do when you do point manipulation through smart bones, first of all, you need to name the bones or it won't work. So let's start with chest bone. Now you got to go to Window, hit Actions. That brings up the Actions panel. Okay. Now, very important. What you need to do, otherwise it won't work. You need to come over here to your layers and click on your bone layer. Otherwise, this will not work. Alright. What you need to do, new action. Chest bone. Okay, now let's move these dots over to 30. Say, look, this is what's going to happen. Whenever the bone moves this way, you get to correct it. So what you do is you got to go in to your shirt. This is the fun part to me. It's so fun. I used to make these rigs before they had point manipulation through smart bones. And so to me it's so fun to be able to fix it. These distortions. It is so fun. See, look over here how it distorts. In the past you wouldn't have any solution for that. So I'm not the best at this, and this, like with the patches, I'm kind of an amateur at this too. So, but I guess I know enough to what to do. All right. So look at that. That looks good. It looks better. Now, I'm showing you the way I do it and what works for me. Okay, because chest bone. Now you want to move it the other direction. So you got to go back to your main line. Go to bone layer, new action, and you put chest bone 2. Don't try to do any more than that. If you do chest bone 3 or chest bone 4, it just won't work. And if you can make it work, I don't know how, because it doesn't work for me. Alright. So, shirt. So basically what we're doing is we're fine-tuning it. Fine-tuning it. Giving it higher quality. Thank you, Jesus, for this option. Thank you, Jesus, for giving the men that made this software the wisdom to come up with this. And also the flex binding, because I love the flex binding. I mean, it's not as important, because there's ways around it. You could break the character apart, which is what I used to do. But flex binding is so much easier. Alright, I love it. Main line, now, boom, let's save that. Next, let's do whatever needs the work the most. Oh, I'll tell you what's really bothering me is that neck. Look at that. Where is it? Oh, that right there bothers me. That right there. Let's do the collarbones next. Alright, so you gotta go to your bone layer. Let's hit right collarbone. And left collarbone. Now, what happened to my bone constraints there? I put it on the wrong one, didn't I? Alright, we go to our bone layer. We're going to type right collarbone. We're going to go over to 30. Let's see what happens when we move it all the way there. That's what happens. So we're going to go to shirt. Add a select none. Now, I'm not the greatest of artists. One of the main reasons why I trace stuff is because I'm not that great of an artist. So, I'm going to do the best I can here. I don't really know what I'm doing, but it works. And if you don't like it, don't watch it. But if you do, I hope you learned something. That looks good to me. Like I said, it might not be right, but it looks good. Main line. Go back to the bone layer. Right collarbone 2. Go to 30. Now we're gonna switch it to the other way. Okay, and that one's not as bad. But it can be better. So let's fix it. I love this part. It's becoming one of my favorite parts of the animation process. Let's zoom in and see what we got. Oh. So, because it's so easy. That's probably why. And that's beautiful. Let's zoom out and see what we're doing. Beautiful. Let's save what we got. Go back to the main line. Go back to the bone layer. Oops. Alright, now left collarbone. Go to 30. We'll bring it down. Go to shirt. Does that look right? I don't know. It looks right. Yeah, it looks good to me. It looks good to me. Let's zoom in. Let's see. You had to zoom in to see that mess up there. Actually, you know what? Yeah, I don't like that. Let's move this one instead to cover it. Does that look right? I don't know. I mean, I guess it could look better, but I'm going to keep it. Now we need to fix that a little bit. That looks good. Okay, we'll save what we got. Main line. Go back to the bone layer. Alright, we're going to make left collarbone 2. Go to 30. Oh, look at that. I guess that would fix it, wouldn't it? That looks good. I like it. Praise be to Jesus. See, there's not enough points there to make that perfect, right? Because if you zoom in so close, you see that's just too messed up. But we don't have enough points. There's no other points here. So I think that's going to have to be acceptable. You know, a little bit far away, you can't really see it. I'm not half-assing it. I just feel like I said, there's no other points, and I'm not going to add any. Look at that. Is that not beautiful? That is beautiful. Alright. I think I already saved it, but let's do it again. Alright. What's the next thing that we should fix? Well, it's probably this, right? That don't look too bad. I don't even think that needs to be fixed. I mean, maybe it could be perfected, but I don't think it really needs it. That one looks fine. We know that one's fine. That one took all the work. That one's fine. These are beautiful. Probably up here is where we're going to work next. But let me just look around, see what we got. Oh, yeah. That right there needs some work. That'll be our next target. Because this right here is usually a pain in the butt. Alright. So, what we're going to do is that's the right upper leg bone. And this is the left upper leg bone. Right. 30. Look at that. That's not too bad, but when it gets over here. Alright. What is that causing that? Oh, it's the waist bending on itself. Okay, I see what the culprit is. So, praise be to Jesus. Praise be to Jesus for allowing us to figure this out. Look at that. Better. Actually, let's see. Let's bring it to like 48, and then we'll have it bend even further. Oh, because you know why? If you want to have him, like, you know, ignore that lower leg is unrealistic. We're focusing on this. You can only bend one bone at a time. And what we're looking at is, if you remember when I showed you earlier, how the legs were being crossed in a realistic way. Look at this. Here's what we need for this part. Let's see. And I think that probably should be pulled in. Now, furthermore, let's get that right upper leg. What is causing that? Oh, that's the patch. And I guess that's fine. Let's see. Here's what I was talking about. I love this move here. To do this, you bring this like that, right? Like he's chilling. See, now that one's without the point manipulation, but you can see what I'm trying to achieve. Like, or if he was gonna sit Indian style. You know what I mean? So that's why you gotta test that. It's better than it was. And as far as that goes, I'm not gonna mess with that one right there. At least not right now. Let's move on to the left upper leg. Save what we got. Oh, something happened. What happened? See how it's red down there? Go to Smart Bones. Do you see it in the list? No, you don't. The reason is something went wrong. Go back to the main line. We'll try it again. It has to be blue. If it's red, you know something's wrong. And I think I actually know what the problem is. I didn't name the bone, did I? Left upper leg bone. Okay, that's why. I named it wrong. Left upper leg bone. Now it's blue. So, okay. We're going to bring it all the way up here. Actually, let's bring that to 48 like we did with the other one. Let's go to waist. Okay. And right there is where it starts to look weird. So, we need the butt cheeks, right? We need that. Praise be to Jesus. I give Jesus all the praise for everything concerning this video. And let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest. Jesus is the only one that deserves it. Okay? I don't deserve the praise for this video. I don't deserve the praise for anything in this video. Only Jesus does. That's the truth. Ooh, that one bulges out too much, doesn't it? See, there it looks a little messed up. Let's see if we can do that. You want conformity. So it doesn't look weird. Alright, now I think that's that patch again. Okay, wait. Alright, we're almost done with this character. Let's do the neck to bone now. Thank you, Jesus, for giving us everything we've given us with this video, and with the knowledge of it, and with everything about it. Now we're going to the neck. Edit, select none. Now, I don't know, it might not be important to fix it when the head's hiding the neck. But it might be important if you're doing it. Probably would be important, actually, if you were doing a head turn, a 3D head turn, because that head would be facing in a different direction and the neck would be exposed. So let's just get in the habit of doing it for the whole thing. Of fixing it for the whole thing. And now we just gotta do one more for the neck. Neck bone 2. Praise be to Jesus. You know what, let's pull the collar down a little. Where is it? Hold on. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll pull the collar down. Praise be to Jesus for this video, and for the knowledge of what to do in this cartoon making. Alright, that's not perfect, but really you're not going to have, I mean, well, it's not perfect, but that's probably like the best I can do, so, currently, alright. And it's not bad. Ooh, we gotta do the head. Look at that. That's not cool. Let's save what we got. And I think this is the last bone we gotta do. Head bone. Go to 30. That's the one that's being a punk. Alright, now let's see this off. Let's see this off. Alright. Let's see, it is slick none. Alright. Maybe that should be pushed in, right like that, right? Well, I guess that's good enough. Alright. Main line. Head bone 2. I give God the glory for all of this. And this one's I saved the easier one for last. I like to do the hard stuff first. Where's my neck at? Edit, select none. Let me see what that should look like. Well, for one, I think this would be like that. And I think that's good enough. Main line. Boosh, boosh. And boosh. Let's test that real quick. Oh, I don't like that. How'd that happen? Blah, blah, blah. Huh. Let's see, let's fix this a little bit, see if we can fix it. Let's zoom in. Okay, that's head bone 2. Neck bone 2. I think I know what the problem is. Let's see. Let's see, neck bone 2. Huh. Well, what do we have for neck bone? Well, then we'll just try that for this. Let's fix that. Let's change it, I mean. Probably, which is a fix. Oh, yeah. That's probably what it is. A big chunk. If that doesn't fix it, we'll just mend it further. And this will matter if you try to do a 3D head turn. Trust me, it will matter. I mean, it matters already because you can see, you're able to see distortion, but now it's better than it was. And it's not perfect, but I'm going to accept it. So, let's save what we got. Let's exit out of this. Let's turn these back on. And there's one last thing I want to show you. But let me just look at that head one last time. Okay, alright. That's the best I can do. I want to show you one last thing. Now, if you want to make your character talk, you need more than one lip. This lip right here is not going to move by itself, okay? That's a rest lip. That's a rest lip. Now, what you got to do is you got to draw all the different mouth movements and put them in a switch layer. I'm not going to do that, okay? Sometimes I do, but I'm going to show you a quick way to do it. That's what I'm doing right now. Boom. Go to the library. Praise be to Jesus for all of this. Alright, when you go to the library, go to other characters, go to Liz. Alright, front view. Okay. Now what you want to do is go inside her bone layer, take her mouth, move it up, and move it out of the bone layer. Throw the bone layer away. Alright, open up your character's bone layer. Take the mouth, put it inside it. Now you want to put that mouth where that lip layer is. Boom. Wait, we don't want to get rid of it yet. Hold on. Where is that mouth? Let's bring it in. I have to do it. Use the orbit control. Sometimes weird stuff happens. If you orbit view, you got sometimes, man, some weird stuff happens. All right. I'm not trying to show off with my knowledge. I'm just trying to make sure it's right. Okay. Now, one thing I don't like is the color of those lips. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm going to eyedrop that, paint it. Alright, might not be perfect, but boom. Oops. Alright, so you gotta keep your eye on it over here, over at the styles, because see, look, it changed. That's why you gotta keep your eye up. Edit, select none. Yes, it can be a pain in the butt. Alright. I'm showing you these different things I'm painting are the different mouth, I think they're called phonemes. Yeah, you can draw these and customize it to your character. I'm gonna skip the these ones. Matter of fact, I'm gonna throw them out because I don't use them for talking. And I want to say as a side note, if you're gonna draw your own lip layers, what you call them affects which ones come up in automatic lip syncing. So just follow what they do here. Call them. Make a layer for each of these ones they have in this mouth layer, and just adjust it to make it look like what you want your character's mouth to look like. Right now, I'm not doing that. I'm not going through all that. But this is what you do. Praise be to Jesus for the knowledge that I'm showing you, because this is not easily acquired knowledge. So, here's what we're doing. And it's coming along. What we're doing is, instead of drawing our own mouth, customizing one that's already made to make it easier for ourselves. And praise be to Jesus for it. Like if you're doing a female and you want to have lipstick, this is a good thing to know. About changing it. And then we're just about done. Praise be to Jesus for all the knowledge that is in this video. Now we're in the mouth layer. Let's save it. Now we're going to line it up with the other lips. And look at that. That's almost the same, is it not? Praise be to Jesus. I think we need to scale it out a little bit more. Now that's not perfect. But it's probably good. Alright, let's delete those lips. And I like to test it. So that's what we got. Let's see what it looks like. I like to use the AI. Okay, here's what I want to do. I'm going to move it down a little bit. Oops. Now that looks beautiful. Rest. Okay, that looks beautiful. E and L and W, U, etc. Etc. is one I don't like. Like, you can draw your own. B, MB, okay, MVP. Now let's put it back on rest, and now let's save it. And that is all that I have for today. And let's see the final preview. There you go. God bless. Have a good day.